Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Some of the most meaningful jewelry you own isn't new. It's inherited. A ring from a grandmother, a necklace full of memories, but no longer your style. Duke's Jewelers reimagines family heirlooms into custom pieces you'll actually wear and love. Working one-on-one, Duke's designers honor the original story while creating something fresh and modern. Don't let meaningful jewelry sit unused. Let it live on beautifully. Visit Duke's Jewelers in Springville or online at dukesjewelers.com, where old stories become new treasures.
Game tonight starts at 8 o'clock. Pre-game show begins at 7, and you will hear this man's voice, hopefully calling a bunch of goals tonight for the Utah Mammoth as they square off against the Seattle Kraken. Mike Folta joining us. Mike, how you doing?
Hey, Scott, how's it going? Hey, we gotta start putting you on the Utah Mammoth radio payroll here, because we're hearing from you left and right. We had you on Mammoth Daily. That episode dropped today. Now we're chatting again, so it's you're basically part of the team now.
Hey, I was with SEG once. I can be with SEG again. I'm more than happy to help out because there's so much excitement going on right now. And first off, yes, there was a little bit of begging involved, and I'm not proud of it. It wasn't one of my finer moments. But sometimes the squeaky wheel, you know, the old adage. So, yes, I made my debut on Mammoth Daily earlier today, and I can't thank you guys enough. It was fun to hang out. You guys do a great job. It's part of my daily routine to get the hockey fix. But, boy, do you have a big one tonight, Mammoth and Kraken. How fired up are you after that win against the Kings?
Yeah, it was a huge win for the Mammoth. And when you look at the context and the opponent, LA, a team that was trying to chase down Utah in the standings, and the way that the Mammoth just dismantled this LA team that's been to the playoffs 4 straight years. Head coach Andre Turney called it a blueprint game for the Mammoth, where they're taking, especially on the defensive side, they're taking a lot of the success from that game and trying to lay that out as the path forward for success over these last 8 games. And it's another game tonight in Seattle against the Kraken team that is a little further down the pecking order than LA is right now, but still they believe they have a chance to make the postseason. They are desperately trying to pick up points this time of year, as a lot of teams are. It's an extremely competitive Western Conference wildcard race. I don't think anybody thought it was going to be this competitive, but nobody has pulled away just yet. And I would say that includes the Mammoth. They're a couple points up on wildcard 2 right now. So a win would go a long way as Utah tries to solidify that top wildcard spot.
So I want to take you back to that LA game, and I know it's a while ago since they've been off for 4 days. But after the Mammoth were up 3-1 against Washington, and then obviously we saw Ovechkin go nuts, and that game got out of reach. When you're up 3-1 on the road against the Kings, sir, you look around like, we were here before just a couple nights ago. How impressed were you that they were able to close the door and not even allow LA to sniff an opportunity to get back in that game?
Well, I think it's part of it. I think that's part of the story of this team too, is being able to make adjustments and to kind of grow up within the span of just a couple games. And we've seen that from this group throughout the year. We talked to Logan Cooley a little bit about today at Morning Skate, and he was saying, look, there are times where we kind of stop attacking, and it's kind of the cliche, right? You get ahead and you start playing not to lose instead of playing to win. But you look this time of year, Scotty, like there's a famous saying in hockey: a 2-0 lead is the worst lead in hockey. and it couldn't be truer. Like, you're up by 2 goals and you think that you're right in it, or you think that you have things controlled, and then all of a sudden it bounces off of somebody's leg. Okay, it's a 1-goal game, and now you're clenching the stick, and now it's too late. The momentum's already rolling down the hill. So a 2-goal lead this time of year really doesn't mean as much as it does maybe some other times a year, just because everybody's playing with that desperation. We saw that, like you said, from the Capitals and Alex Ovechkin when they were at the Delta Center. And so it was really good to see Utah kind of mature within the span of 2 games and continue to attack. And I think when this team is playing with that attack-first mentality, with the speed they have, they're a really tough matchup in the NHL.
So my goal before this trip was 5 points. You look at Vancouver, a game that obviously the Mammoth will be predicted to win. They are predicted to win tonight. They are odds-on favorites. Is it wrong to think that this team might pick up 6, or am I just jinxing the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, as fans, we do that, right?
Oh yeah.
You talk to the players, you talk to coaches. Like nobody is saying, "Well, we hope we get 5, we hope we get 6." I mean, you're talking the rest of the way, right? Like the amount of points we need to pick up the rest of the way.
No, I'm talking about this road trip. You got 2, and 2 tonight, and then 2 against Vancouver.
I think you're selling out to get 2 points tonight, and you're not even thinking about the rest of it. And look, I was saying about 2-goal games. You can apply that to teams that are further down in the standings as well. Like Vancouver is leading the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes. He's projected to go first overall at the upcoming draft. They literally wrote an apology letter to their fan base this year, more or less. But even with that said, the Vancouver Canucks just beat the best team in the league last night. They beat the Colorado Avalanche 8-6. So this time of year, you get a bunch of weird results with teams that are out of the race beating teams that are playing for something real. We actually saw this with Andre Tourigny's group. He was talking to us about this a few years ago in Arizona. The last 2 games of the year, the Coyotes were at the very bottom of the league, and they weren't playing for anything, but they were playing against Dallas and against Nashville, 2 teams that were literally scrapping over each other to try and earn better playoff seeding. Like, these were very important games to Dallas and Nashville. Well, what happens the last 2 games of the year? Arizona wins both of those games, and they kind of screwed themselves out of a better draft pick. Now, it worked out because the Coyotes drafted 3rd overall, and they took Logan Cooley, which you're absolutely fine with in that spot. They might have taken Cooley 1st overall if they got that pick. But all of that to say, you can't start circling wins this time of the year because it's gotten teams knocked out of playoffs before.
Yeah, it's a good point. When you look at this Kraken team, they've had some struggles as of late. They did get the win against Tampa, but what have you seen out of this team, and what's got you concerned that the Kraken can do that has you a little bit, I don't want to say nervous, but is on your radar going into this game tonight?
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Yeah, they're not the flashiest team. They're one of only 4 teams in the league that has 1 or fewer 20-goal scorer on their team. So they don't, and for a long time they haven't had that kind of superstar talent. So they don't have a lot of guys that jump off the page at you. But what they do have are really active defensemen in Brandon Montour and Vince Dunn. Those guys create a lot of offense from the blue line and make it really difficult to track in the defensive zone sometimes. So I think that's the biggest concern when the Kraken are playing well. They're getting a lot of offense from those guys, and they're getting good goaltending as well from Philip Grubauer and Joey Decord. We think we're going to see Joey Decord tonight for the Kraken. Both of those guys have kind of traded the net back and forth over the last couple of years. But it's a team that's struggled recently. They've won just one of their last 7. They've been the second worst team in the NHL since the Olympic break, the Kraken. Their scoring has dried up a little bit, even more than what it was, which was already not good to begin with. So, like you said, it's a game the Mammoth are supposed to win on paper, but gosh, you can just throw that all out the door when you drop the puck. 2 of Utah's worst games last year were in this building. Now, that's last year. It's a different story. Mammoth have already beat Seattle twice this year. But for me, as someone who had to call those games, Scott, you remember the games that hurt to broadcast I'm sure you've had a couple of them.
Oh, yeah.
Those hurt at Climate Pledge Arena last year when the Mammoth were supposed to win and didn't turn in a very good performance.
Didn't quite get it done. Hey, what's going on in Vegas? You fire a coach at that point. Is that just a real cutthroat organization, or what's the story there?
Yes, it's probably the most cutthroat organization in, I would venture to say, North American sports.
Wow.
Right now, I mean, they chased, they've chased guys out of town. They haven't given guys contracts. Like they've been ruthless, and it's been that way for really ever since they got to Vegas. And part of it has kept them, it's kept them in the fight year in and year out. They've always been competitive since they entered the league in 2017. But they absolutely have that reputation for being ruthless. So they fired Bruce Cassidy, the coach that got them a Stanley Cup in 2023. They fired him with 8 games left in the regular season, and they brought in John Tortorella, a guy who's known as being a hard-nosed guy, a no-nonsense coach, which is kind of what Bruce Cassidy is. But it'll be interesting as they kind of switch things up and try and make a run here. Now, there is some history to this. There's some precedents in the NHL for firing a coach, even if you're in a playoff spot with so few games left in the regular season. The famous, or the infamous, depending who you ask, Lou Lamoriello of the New Jersey Devils, he fired their head coach, and they brought in another guy back in the year 2000. They fired that coach with 8 games left in the regular season, brought in a new guy. That new guy, Larry Robinson, led him to a Stanley Cup championship. John Madden, current assistant coach of the Utah Mammoth, was on that team. But it's happened before. Golden Knights are hoping it happens here. The weird thing, Scott, is that the Golden Knights have had some of the worst goaltending and the worst shooting percentage in the NHL. Now, a lot of that is not on the head coach.
Yeah.
Like, the head coach can only scheme up so much. Imagine in football, you're a coach, and you draw up the perfect play, and the guy keeps dropping it in the end zone. Like, at what point is it not on the coach, but on the players or on somebody else? But they're trying to create a spark, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens because Vegas is a potential playoff matchup for the Mammoths.
I know the NBA and NHL in terms of cities overlap quite a bit, but do you give me your hierarchy of cities as a broadcaster now that you're almost through year number 2 here with the Mammoth? In no particular order, the 3 or 4 cities that you're like, all right, I'm circling that one when the schedule comes out because I'm fired up to be there.
Well, for David Locke's sake, I really hope that Montreal gets an NBA team because that's an incredible cosmopolitan city, very unique. It is very French, but it's not just French. It's all the world comes together on a little Canadian island. It's really special. And they love their hockey there, too. The games are always electric. That's great. I mean, New York City is pretty awesome. We always are there for a few days, so you kind of get to explore a little bit. I'm a Midwesterner at heart. Chicago is always going to hold a special place. I love country music. Nashville is up there for that reason. And I've really enjoyed the last afternoon I've had in Seattle. Scotty, I am now an owner of some fine art. I stopped by some local galleries next to, Pike's Marketplace?
Oh, yeah.
The famous fish market here in Seattle. Yes. I got a nice painting of a bull moose here. I've got what looks like a watercolor of a tugboat, and I found myself I love maps. Pretty dorky, but I love maps. I got myself a map at Metzger's Maps. Shout out to fine folks at Metzger. So I'm enjoying the Pacific Northwest. I'm coast to coast, baby.
Dude, I've been to that map place a couple of times, and I love it.
Really?
Is that the one where you walk down the stairs, and or was it on the top level? There's one where you walk in that back area next to the marketplace, and you walk down the stairs, and there's a lot of really these cool old shops. There was a map place down there. Maybe they've moved up to a different spot, but that's where I've always, had I had room, I would have bought a bunch of maps at that place. It's cool.
Well, okay. I didn't go downstairs to that map place. Now I kind of want to go back.
Now you got to go back.
I had to get on this call. So the map might fit. Let's see. I'm going to measure it right now. Oh, it's too big for the suitcase.
Uh-oh.
All right, this is going to be sticking out of my backpack in a rolled set up. It's going to be a little embarrassing on the plane.
That's
but
all right.
It's a heck of a map, so I'm excited.
Nice. Well done. All right, man. I will talk to you soon. Mike, you're the best. Thanks for hanging out with us. And go get that win tonight. Wrap things up in Vancouver, and let's get this team back to Delta Center on a heater.
Thanks, Scotty. Tough stuff.
You got it. Mike Folta, radio play-by-play voice of the Utah Mammoth.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.